Hi, good evening, guys. Hope all of y'all are doing great this Thursday, and hope the week has been great for you. Just a little tidbit that what I've done is I've renamed my show as the early show with Latha Srinivasan because everybody kept saying Insta Live, Insta Live. So I said, okay, why not just give a name to it? Though I'm doing an Insta Live, let me just give it a name. So I'm calling it the early show with Latha Srinivasan. Okay, having said that, well, let's talk about our guest this evening. She is a wonderful person, an actress, of course, a celebrity in her own right. She's worked in numerous South films, and now she's going to be making her Bollywood debut with two big films, to say the least. And they are supposed to release in 2020. Yes, I'm talking about Pranitha Subhash, who is from Bangalore. And I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news about her, but she's been doing a lot for people, during the times of COVID. She's not just been distributing food, but distributing, transparent jackets for for auto rickshaw drivers, sanitizers, masks, and various things. She's been going out and doing her bit in society, to help those in need and to make things better for everybody so that people stay safe and healthy during the times of corona. And she's been going, hi Pranitha,
Hi,
lovely to see you.
lovely to see you too.
Yeah, I hope you're doing fine.
All well, how are you?
I'm good. I was just telling everybody about all the wonderful work you're doing right now, during the times of COVID.
Hmm.
You've been busy distributing sanitizers, masks,
Right.
PPE jackets, going out and meeting people, distributing food. And it's wonderful to see somebody, celebrity like you taking that first step because others will be motivated to do it as well,
Right.
right? So what's brought this about? What made you take this action and say, yes, I'm going to do this and help people?
So, in the beginning, when the lockdown was announced, I had all my staff and people I've worked with in the film industry, a lot of light boys and assistants, makeup assistants, they all called asking for financial support. And
Okay.
I made bank transfers for them. And eventually, I realized, there must be daily wage workers, construction workers, auto drivers, maids who don't know where to go and ask. And, being an actor, I think we have a route where we can actually gather or get a contribution and then start an initiative, which is what I did. So
Okay.
eventually we did a fundraiser, and with what we managed to get, we contributed to all these daily wage workers.
Okay. So you've been doing it periodically, like, over the last nearly 2 months now, right?
Right.
Every week you've been doing something or the other to ensure that people on the roads
Yeah.
are safe. And but how have you been keeping yourself safe and healthy and happy at this point?
So, if I think we're the privileged lot because we're at home, and this is also a time I really enjoyed being at home with my family. And my parents are doctors, and they're always on the run, and they're always working. But thanks to COVID, I think they're working much lesser, and they only go and whichever appointment is very serious, and if it's an emergency, they're going and they're back very soon. So, getting a chance to spend time with them, with my grandmother, with my dog, and I'm enjoying it. And apart from that, of course, good food at home and what more.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And of course, you're well known South film industry. You've been doing so many films with all the big stars, and you're now headed to Bollywood. You've got two big films in Bollywood. Tell us a little about both. One is, of course, Bhuj, and the other
Right.
is Hangama 2.
Right. So one is more of a period war film, much like the title suggests. And the other one is, I think, what you must have seen the first version, and this one is the second. But clearly, it has nothing to do with the storyline of the first. But I
Yeah.
think it's going to be like a nice, light-hearted one.
Yeah, and both are very different from each other,
Different
right?
in
One is
genres.
a total comedy, and the other, of
The other
course, is
one
a
is
period
serious.
film.
So
Yeah.
that's the thing I see about today's genres, and it's just amazing how, whether it's on Netflix or whether it's anywhere, like the genres that people are coming up with is just amazing. And at a time before, it used to be just that one template and people had to stick to that. And today everyone's enjoying all kinds of films and all kinds of genres, and it's really nice.
Yeah, and speaking about the lockdown, I think what a lot of people are doing is moved into the digital space. I mean,
Right.
OTT platforms have
OTT, yeah.
become the big thing. Everybody's on Netflix, on Amazon, on Woot, on Z5. Are there any particular shows that you love watching on any of these platforms? Are you
Yeah,
hooked onto any of them?
I watched Money Heist, and I think
Ah,
also
lovely.
because of peer pressure, because everyone's talking about it, I thought I might as well watch it. And it's definitely worth all the hype. It's just one of the most amazing shows. I think we're so used to seeing the hero, whether he's the thief or the police, we're always used to seeing him as super smart and super strong. And whoever's anti is like either really dumb or really weak and really. But this is one show I think where you don't know who to root for because you're rooting for the thieves, but you see them doing murders and then you think they're a little whack in the head, so you need to support the cops. But they're equally smart, and that's what really makes that show amazing. Because there's definitely like a counter. Each one's predicting the other's moves. And did you watch it? I don't know if I'm talking out of context for you then.
No, no, of course I
Oh,
did.
oh, of course you did. The best
Yeah.
part about journalists is that you watch everything, so you can just pick up any topic and start talking because I'm sure you'd know about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Money Heist was great, but one of the big ones that everybody's talking about is Patal Lok. I don't know if you
Patal
saw
Lok, I
that.
just
Yeah.
started. I just
Okay.
started today, and
Yeah.
it's. But I think, yeah, let's see. Like till now, it's just been nice. But I
Yeah.
think from seeing what everyone's saying, I think it's gonna get more intense.
Yeah. So I think that's a great thing. Like you were talking about Johns, I think what's happened also with the OTT in India is that so many different kinds of
Right.
Indian content, is being made. And
Yeah.
that's amazing. Would you ever want to work in a web series? And if yes, what would you like to do?
Honestly, as of now, I'm really enjoying the like to work in. I think still a typical heroine commercial space that I really enjoy because I love watching that as much as I enjoy this. As much as it's mindless, it could be, the typical, oh so innocent, coy, dumb heroine. I still love it because it's just. It's so colorful and it's not something that exists in the real world where you don't
Yeah.
see that. I mean, and these cute college romances. So be it any of those, I really enjoy working in those films as well. And
Huh.
of course, to watch, I think like I said, Money Heist. If I get to work in something like that, then why not? Like if it's a series as smart as Money Heist, I
Uh,
would say, then why not? Because that's a show you can't really like. I couldn't even, you have that move to 10 seconds on both the sides, like
yeah,
forward
yeah,
10
yeah,
seconds or whatever.
yeah,
You can't even do that. It's like even
yeah.
10 seconds and you like miss some key points. So it's that tight and that well packaged. So I think if there's something on those lines, then definitely yes. And of course, it has very limited female characters, but
Yeah.
nevertheless.
Yeah, but I think you're right. But the roles are very strong. Like whether
Yeah.
you look at Nairobi or whoever, the others, each of
Very,
those
and
characters is
such
very strong.
independent women in that
Yeah,
show, and they're like you.
absolutely.
And in fact, she even has this thing about misogyny, and she has these close-up shots about them, and it's really nice because gives you a high to watch that, and it's also because I'm just coming from a talk about menstrual hygiene, which is today Menstrual Hygiene Day. I really love
Okay.
how women are like out there talking about everything, taking over everything, and yeah,
Okay, so that's another thing I wanted to ask you. You did speak
yeah,
about menstrual hygiene, though I wasn't able to, catch it.
yeah,
But, why is this topic important? And, because it affects so many women, right?
right,
Millions of women. It's not
right.
just a few. It affects millions of women, and many of us are not aware of how it
Right,
impacts them.
right.
Why do you think this is very important and needs to be addressed today?
So, first of all, I think that as a country, we have too many sections of the society that are not even open about talking this as of today. And they don't even know about menstrual hygiene, especially the hygiene part of it. And they're also not aware how important it is to be clean because they can't really like probably dry things in the open or go and quickly, they have various other issues. So, which is why I
Right.
feel like hygiene itself is a privilege. And, you and I are in a place where we're able to discuss this, and people around us are quite open about it, and we're able to talk about this on Instagram. But I'm sure there are
Hmm.
like plenty of people outside of social media in villages, rural areas of India who are still dealing with those cloth pad days and things like that. And I'm glad we have films like Padman talking about it.
Hmm.
And, at least there's dialogue. So if we can start here, eventually the stigma will probably be removed eventually. And because my mom's a gynecologist, I think
Okay.
in my house, it is like, everyone's okay about talking about anything. But I think that in other households, there's still a little bit of stigma and taboos related to it. So many myths, and which will eventually, hopefully, get busted.
Right. So, what are some of the other causes which are close to you, which you feel strongly about?
So, from we have Pranitha Foundation. It's been about 2 years
Yeah,
since
I
we
wanted to ask about
launched
that.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So, initially we thought healthcare and education, because healthcare, because my parents are doctors. My
Hmm.
dad conducts blood donation camps. He's been doing that since 20 years in our hospital. And
Okay.
I've grown up seeing him. So I thought, when I have the infrastructure and my parents to come and help me with it, why
Hmm.
not start off with medical camps and things like that? So we did a few of those in slum areas near Banshankari, near Jayanagar, and JP
Hmm.
Nagar in Bangalore. And then we moved on to, of course, education. I don't know if you saw about me adopting schools in rural
Right.
areas.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got them repainted and whatever best we can do from our side with
Hmm.
providing English teachers so that they can compete with, urban schools and water connection, basic things like these, which we could
Hmm.
manage. And now, of course, the COVID crisis. Even last year, there was the North Karnataka floods, and
Right.
we did
Yeah.
a lot of relief work for them. And we sent trucks full of supplies and things. So we're trying to just be there when people need us, maybe. So that's what we're trying to do right now. Not really focusing, but of course, I'm happy to stand up for causes like menstrual hygiene as well.
Right. But Pranita, at such a young age, I mean, it's wonderful to see, you set up a foundation and take so much of action and be so proactive about it. When did all this start? Were you always like this as a kid, or how did this come about?
I think so. So, like I said, I grew up watching my father conducting those blood donation camps, and how he used to make me post when I started off in the industry. He used to say, "Oh, you have so many followers on Facebook, post this." And he used to say, "There's organ donation awareness. People have a taboo, post about it." And or
Hmm.
maybe about eye donation, and people have to sign up or register for something. So he said, just post about it. Some fans might will do it and it'll spread. So I kept we kind of live in that sort of a house, as well as in the film industry, of course, a lot of people want to tie up, whether it was World Thalassemia Day, people, the Harsha Bhogle and me were the ambassadors
Brand
to promote
ambassadors.
blood
Hmm.
donation, because
Hmm.
to promote blood donation for thalassemia patients. So it's always been something or the other, and we thought, why not streamline it under an organization, and that's how Pranitha Foundation happened. And I know, as narcissistic as it may sound to name it after yourself, but it should just connect. People should just connect quickly that it's, Pranitha and Pranitha Foundation, instead of naming it anything else. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, for that reason.
No, and I think you're doing a wonderful job, and I'm sure people are aware of what you're doing. There's a lot being written about it. You're a very vocal person. You talk about it, and I think that creates awareness. One, and secondly, it motivates other people to go and
Right.
do work as well. And I think that is very important also. Um, but having said that, how do you balance your work life and looking after the activities out of the foundation? Are you involved in the day-to-day activities? How do you manage the two?
So, to be honest, because of COVID, we're all sitting at home, and I think this has been the most productive thing I did during COVID.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
the credit goes to a lot of people, because we have a team of volunteers, a lot of people taking care to find beneficiaries. As an actor, I wouldn't know. Like, people might ask me for help, but somebody has to
Hmm.
cross-check whether they're really
Right.
going through issues. And so we have people doing that, and they're checking and making a nice list of beneficiaries. making sure that bank transfers reach them or whatever it is. So
Right.
I think the credit has to go to the team. And in fact, last year when we did the Coorg and North Karnataka floods, I was elsewhere. I think I was in Hyderabad or something. And these people went, and we had auto drivers join us, and they set up, they went to different households, got all those ration kits and everything, and put it in trucks and left. So, and send them, sorry. So I think the team is important. It really, they do things even in your absence. And balancing, I guess, I don't know, because this is important, especially during COVID, as an actor, as a citizen, as a privileged citizen. I think it's, even if we can do a tiny bit for someone, it will make a difference. And that's what I think.
That's a very noble thought, to say the least, because I think people everywhere are trying to do
Right.
their little bit, whether it's to donate towards a PPE kit, whether it's to feed somebody, whether it's
Right.
to buy bottles of water. I think people are doing whatever little they can. And it's great to see somebody like you take the onus and initiative and, stand in front, because people right now with the COVID, they're so scared to even venture out.
Right.
Right? I mean, they're like, okay, we'll get corona if we just step out. And,
True.
so there's a lot of
Yeah.
misrepresentation. So when a celebrity goes out and actually does work on the streets, then I think it
Right.
creates a big difference. Coming back to your films, there are a lot of fans who are asking you, or asking, which I can see, when you're going to be doing Tamil films
Tamil and
again,
Telugu.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I see that all the time. And whenever I do a chat, sorry, I'm trying
Yeah.
to click on the comments. So every time I do a chat, everyone wants to know one word about this actor, one word
Yeah.
about, Ajit sir or Pavan Kalyan sir or something like that. So definitely, and I would be doing that soon as well. And I do keep in touch with everything, which irrespective of language, I'm always watching these all the films, everything on social media, and they're all really nice and supportive. And even when I see, especially when we put out this message that we're doing all this work, it's unfortunate that there's no interstate transport. So
Right.
because there are a lot of people from Andhra, Telangana, and even Chennai, and messaging and saying, "Hey, we want to work for this somehow. Can we?" Or people, somebody from Vellore called yesterday to one of our volunteers. He said, "Can we do one event just in Vellore itself?" And where he has some dad in the bureaucracy, something like that. So he said, on behalf of your foundation, I said, okay, if you want to do it right there, then why not? Because I can't encourage somebody to come here because of interstate transport
Right.
is not
Yeah.
allowed now. But I'm glad that from everywhere we're
Yeah. Yeah.
able to get people to, want to do this work.
Okay. So you've worked with so many actors, so many different kinds of films. What are you looking forward to if, again in Tamil and Telugu cinema, what are the kind of films you'd like to do now? Is it still the commercial romantic heroine kind of film? Or,
Um, the thing with, of course, yes. So I love doing commercial, the typical, oh, so sweet and cute and bubbly actor, heroine and everything. I love doing that because, and even
yeah,
that is
yeah,
reinvented in every film. As much as we think it's, there's a template, it's so much fun because every film, she's differently cute and funny and things like that. But
right.
that said, like you said, there's so many new genres now, and we just discussed that. And
Yeah.
I think I'd be open to, I think recently there was this discussion about money heist in India and all that.
Yeah.
So why not?
Correct.
Definitely why not? So
What do you think
yeah,
about women-oriented films? There's a lot of that which
there are
is
a lot
coming
of
out.
those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it
So,
all depends on the story. I think it's beyond who is leading it anymore. And it's all dependent on the story. Like, can you imagine? I think we're just like promoting Money Heist here for no reason. But I don't know, we're obsessed with it. So
okay.
if you look at it, it's a Spanish web series, which
Right.
definitely is not something an Indian would be watching. But if it's got dubbed into, as in it's dubbed into English and with English subtitles and in Turkish, Brazil, and all these
Other countries. Yeah, yeah,
countries
yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
you can imagine how much reach a strong storyline has. So I
Right.
think it just depends on the making, storyline, and today people are just accepting anything and as long as it's gripping, something nice to watch or made you feel good. or
Hmm.
something that can, make you feel different, I think.
Yeah. So I'll tell you a little tidbit about Money Heist since we're talking about it. You know, the first two seasons ran on TV and it was actually cancelled. It fared very
Oh,
badly. Yeah, on Spanish
on
television.
TV. Oh,
Yes, okay, because it actually went to television first. The first season did okay, the second season tanked, and Netflix picked it up. They liked
wow.
it, they picked up the show, and then it turned out to be a super hit, and then they commissioned the third season three and the next season and so on. So I think yeah, it's a very interesting story that
Wow.
that Money Heist actually has.
Very
But
interesting.
even as a person, you're a very bubbly kind of personality. Is that why, you kind of really relate to those kind of roles?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad, like, if probably why, because also I think that we all go to the movies to watch something that's fun, it could be negative, like it could be robbing a bank for all you know, but at least
Right.
it's fun to watch it. And then,
Hmm.
uh, so I think it's just that, like, as long as anything is fun and colorful. But I know it's quite a thing that every film of mine almost has been either, like the college girl, or like, oh, she's just working, it's bubbly and all that. But I still enjoy it. Like, I've never had qualms with that. But that said, I think the recent like NTR biopic, for example,
Hmm.
had me
Hmm.
playing the yesteryear heroine Krishna Kumari with that get
Right.
up and everything. So I think I do enjoy dressing up very differently from what I am, having a look reveal, and for everyone to be like, oh wow. So I really enjoyed that whole process. Of course, that film kind of didn't do great, but I still think I had goosebumps when I was shooting that film, because everyone is putting in so much. The even tiniest of details, trying
Hmm.
to just make sure it's as close to the original as
Authentic as
possible,
the origin. Yeah.
authentic as
Yeah.
possible. So
Yeah.
I really love all that. So I think and also like how people really took Savitri, they really enjoyed that. So I
Yeah.
think that could be a genre that I enjoy, or anything, and in future I'm sure the money heist types will also come to India. And like you said, like Patal Lok, for example, is so different. It
Yeah.
doesn't have anything to do with no candy floss, nothing, but it's still gripping. So I think I'll enjoy that as well.
Okay, super. And coming back to the
COVID relief.
lockdown. Yeah, no,
Right.
COVID relief, I think
Okay.
everybody's like
Sorry.
already raving about
No.
all the work that you've
Right.
done. But are you busy cooking and making dalgona coffee and baking banana bread and what everybody else is
No,
doing?
I think that, yeah, neither of them are my favorites, to be honest.
Okay.
But I've been making other things. So I tried the thing about lockdown. So before, when I used to open Google, YouTube, Instagram, anything, Facebook. So this thing called recommended. There's a section recommended for
Yeah,
you. So
yeah.
there's a bot
Yeah.
in the app which decides. So it used to be films, or it used to be some sort of videos, interviews, probably because I would have watched those in the past. And now I don't know why every app wants to show me food, how to make food, how to do this. I somebody made pizza. Maybe because we're
Yeah.
all craving for it. I think it's everyone's
Yeah.
phone doing that. And
Yeah.
it suggested pull apart bread recently, and
Huh.
this thing where you just cut bread and then put some garlic and cheese into it, and then just
Hmm.
bake it, and just
Bake
becomes
it.
like this easy gooey
Yeah, good
cheese thing.
thing.
Yeah, so just because I saw that and I actually got all the ingredients, very simple dish, and I
Uh,
made that, and I put a boomerang of me trying to pull out a part, and everyone's like, "Whoa, what is that?" Because everyone's gone crazy, craving for pizza and cheese and everything.
yeah, yeah.
So
Hmm.
I made that. Then we did this thing called zero waste cooking with Bango Times. So we did
Okay.
some, where you cook the vegetable and the peel and everything
Yeah,
related to
yeah,
it. So you don't
correct.
really
Yeah.
have waste. So I made this hirekai palya and hirekai chutney, like rich gourd ka
Yeah.
chutney as well as sabzi with it. And so some of the basic things when I'm free, I've been trying to cook and whatever. Otherwise, yeah, of course, my mom and grandmom are really enjoying time at the kitchen, so don't want to disturb them. And my
Okay,
mom's really
super.
spoiling me silly. She's making everything because there's just one rule in the house to not order from outside, so have to keep
Ah,
up to that.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
sadly.
great. And how are you maintaining, your fitness levels if you're enjoying all the home cooked food? No, no, I said how are you maintaining your fitness levels given that, you're eating all the healthy home cooked food?
A
Are
lot
you
of fruits.
working out? Are you working out? Are you
Yeah,
doing, yeah?
Yeah, so that is pre-lockdown also. There was a lot of days when I used to work out at home because it's not like every day you feel like going to the gym. So sometimes I just do some yoga at home and I go running or take my dog for a run and things like that. So I've always enjoyed that, and now is like a time where all these videos on YouTube about fitness, and I've just taken a great liking to that. Like you can decide today, do you want to do legs, do you want to do abs, and okay, even if you want 15 minutes, you're bored of abs, okay, just change it, and then so it's so easy, and I think I started enjoying that, and I think tomorrow that'll become the norm where I just if I have to work out, I just just wear some, I don't know, like the regular clothes at home, and then nice workout wear, and just switch on a video and then just start working out. So I'm enjoying that. But it's really important for everyone who's watching this because I know the workout videos got cliched after 3 days of lockdown and people stopped posting them. But I hope everyone is working out because we're all eating out of boredom and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah. So my final question, what are you looking forward to once this lockdown is over and things will not be normal, but at least
Yeah.
you'll be able to go out. So what are you looking forward to most?
So, to be honest, it's quite no, it's almost becoming normal in Bangalore. We have everything open except public transport as well, and restaurants and theaters. So I think unfortunately these especially flights. Oh, flights are open by the way. So
Yeah.
theaters, restaurants, and these are the important things that I'm waiting for. So they say that it'll open soon. So once it does, I guess I'll first rush there and then probably take a flight because it's been really long. So I want to, just, yeah, maybe these things. That's it.
And of course, get back to work.
Get back to, yeah, but we don't know what's the scene on it. So that's the
Ha.
reason I didn't say it. So yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
In the
But
near
your
future.
fans
Yeah.
in the near future, but your fans are looking forward to the release of your
I'm
Bollywood
so
films.
glad. And
So
also the fact that the lockdown has made me very active on social media. Now I can just like keep in touch with everyone. And I'm glad that we're all able to give time for all of this.
yeah, super. Thank you so much, Pranitha,
Thank
for
you.
joining me. And I mean, it's wonderful to see you do so much of COVID relief
Thank
work
you.
at this time. And I must congratulate you on that and
Thank
say
you.
that you're very inspiring. And I hope other people get inspired to do more such work,
Thank you
and
very
help
much.
others. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Lovely
Take
talking
care.
to you.
Lovely.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.